The Zarnak Empire was known across the galaxy for its might. Their technology was unmatched, their fleets undefeated, and their conquests unchallenged. So, when they set their sights on Earth, a seemingly primitive planet, they saw it as an easy victory. Commander Krill of the Zarnak fleet stood aboard the bridge of his flagship, the Dominion. Through the massive viewport, Earth appeared as a small blue marble floating in space. "A weak planet," Krill scoffed. "They won't last a day." As the fleet moved into Earth's orbit, their ships prepared to deploy massive weapons capable of leveling entire continents. But as they descended closer to the planet, something unexpected happened. "Commander, the navigation systems are failing," one of the Zarnak officers shouted. "We're being pulled in too fast." Krill frowned. "Impossible. Adjust the thrusters." But no matter what they tried, Earth's gravity pulled the ships further down. The massive vessels, designed for deep space battles, weren't built to handle the planet's atmospheric conditions. Their sleek, silver hulls began to heat up, glowing red as they descended uncontrollably. One by one, the alien ships were dragged into fiery destruction, crashing into the Earth's surface. On the ground, humanity watched in awe and confusion. From cities to rural villages, people saw the alien ships burning up in the sky like massive shooting stars. For a moment, there was fear, then there was hope. At the International Space Defense Center, Dr. Elena Vasquez, a renowned physicist, analyzed the data streaming in from satellites. "It's Earth's gravity," she said, her voice filled with both relief and excitement. "Their ships aren't designed to handle it. Our planet's natural pull is throwing off their systems." General Carter, the head of the Defense Forces, leaned over her shoulder. "Are you saying our best weapon is gravity?" "Yes," Elena replied. "But we need to act fast. If they adapt, they'll find a way to counter it." The Zarnak fleet, though caught off guard, wasn't ready to give up. The remaining ships hovered at the edge of Earth's orbit, where gravity was weaker. Commander Krill seethed with anger. "Prepare the planetary lasers. If we can't land, we'll destroy them from space." Back on Earth, Elena worked tirelessly with her team to create a plan. "We can use satellites to amplify Earth's gravitational effects," she explained. "If we position them strategically, we can create a gravitational shield around the planet." It was a race against time. As the Zarnak fleet charged their weapons, humanity launched a series of modified satellites into orbit. Each satellite emitted a focused gravitational pulse, creating a network that enhanced Earth's natural gravity. The Zarnak fleet began their attack, firing powerful energy beams toward Earth. But the amplified gravity distorted their trajectories, bending the beams back toward the fleet. Explosions rippled through the alien ships as they were hit by their own weapons. Commander Krill stared in disbelief. "What kind of sorcery is this?" he growled. "It's not sorcery," Elena said from Earth, watching the scene unfold on her monitors. "It's science." The Zarnak fleet was in chaos. Ships collided as gravity pulled them into one another. The few that tried to escape were dragged back by the gravitational shield. Krill, realizing his fleet was doomed, made the hardest decision of his career. "Retreat," he commanded. "This planet is more dangerous than we thought." As the surviving alien ships limped away, Earth erupted in celebration. Humanity had faced a threat far greater than any they had known, and they had won not with advanced weapons, but with the power of their own planet. Elena stood on the roof of the defense center, looking up at the night sky. The stars shone brightly, uninterrupted by alien ships. "Earth's gravity," she murmured, "our greatest defender." General Carter joined her, smiling. "We did it, Dr. Vasquez. The planet's safe." "For now," she replied. "But we need to prepare. If they return, they'll be ready for our gravity." Carter nodded. "Then we'll be ready too." And so, humanity began a new chapter. They didn't just survive the alien attack, they learned to use their planet's natural strengths to defend themselves. Earth wasn't just a home, it was a fortress. And anyone who tried to conquer it would have to face the unyielding power of Earth's gravity trap. The alien fleet descended onto Earth in the dead of night. Their ships, dark and triangular, hovered silently over major cities, spreading panic and confusion. The invaders, known as the Goran, had conquered many worlds. They saw Earth as just another weak planet in their path. Commander Yal of the Goran fleet stood in the control room of his ship, staring at the live feed from their drones on Earth. Humans scrambled like ants below. "Weak and disorganized," he said with a smirk. "Prepare the energy disruptors. We will claim this planet by morning." On Earth, scientists and military leaders gathered in underground bunkers, desperately trying to figure out how to stop the invaders. Among them was Dr. Mia Chen, a young physicist specializing in gravitational fields. She was known for her unconventional ideas, which often got her dismissed by her peers. "Listen to me," Mia said, standing at the edge of a crowded room. "It's not their weapons or ships we need to focus on. It's our gravity. Something strange is happening, and it's affecting them." General Harris frowned. "Strange? How?" "Look at their ships. They're wobbling, struggling to stay in formation. Their drones are malfunctioning. It's as if Earth's gravity is stronger than normal, but only in certain areas." "That doesn't make sense," Harris replied. "Gravity doesn't just change like that." "Not unless something is causing it," Mia insisted. "I need access to more data. If we can figure this out, we might have a chance to fight back." Meanwhile, the Goran began their attack. Their energy disruptors, designed to destroy Earth's communication systems, misfired the moment they activated. Sparks erupted inside their ships, and some of their smaller crafts spiraled uncontrollably, crashing into mountains and oceans. "What is happening?" Commander Yal demanded, slamming his clawed fist on the control panel. "Our systems are unstable," one of his engineers replied. "Gravity fluctuations are interfering with the disruptors." "Gravity fluctuations?" Yal repeated, his voice sharp. "How is that possible?" On Earth, Mia's team worked around the clock, analyzing the strange gravitational anomalies. They discovered that Earth's core was producing unusual energy pulses. These pulses created localized gravity zones, areas where the gravitational force was much stronger than normal. "It's like the planet is defending itself," Mia said, staring at the data. "Earth's gravity is acting, alive." The team couldn't explain why this was happening, but Maya saw an opportunity. "If we can map these zones, we can lure their ships into them. They won't stand a chance." Using old satellites and a bit of luck, Mia and her team created a map of the gravity zones. They sent the information to the military, who quickly set up traps. The Goran, unaware of the plan, continued their assault. But as they moved their ships into position, they were caught in the gravity zones. Massive vessels were pulled down, crashing into the ground with devastating force. Yal watched in horror as his fleet was destroyed one ship at a time. "This planet, it's cursed," he growled. Back on Earth, the team celebrated their success, but Mia wasn't satisfied. She felt there was more to the gravity puzzle than they understood. She returned to her lab, studying the core's energy pulses. That's when she made a startling discovery. Earth's gravity fluctuations weren't random. It was as if the planet knew it was under attack and was fighting back. Mia shared her findings with General Harris. "Earth isn't just a planet," she said. "It's alive in some way, and it's protecting us." Harris didn't know whether to believe her, but he trusted her instincts. "What happens if they come back?" he asked. "They'll come back stronger," Mia replied. "We need to learn how to work with Earth's gravity, not just use it." The Goran fleet retreated, battered and defeated. From their perspective, Earth was a dangerous and mysterious world, one they didn't want to face again. As the last of the alien ships disappeared into space, Mia stood outside the bunker, staring up at the night sky. She felt a deep connection to the planet she called home. "This is just the beginning," she whispered. "Earth has secrets we've only started to uncover." The story of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy, making it a legend among other planets. And for the people of Earth, it was a reminder that sometimes the greatest mysteries lie beneath their feet. Humanity had survived, not because of its weapons or technology, but because of its planet's strange and powerful defense, the gravity puzzle. The alien fleet loomed over Earth like a storm. Thousands of ships floated silently in space, blocking the sunlight and plunging the planet into an eerie twilight. The Zarelians, a race of ruthless conquerors, had come to claim Earth as their own. Commander Vorth stood on the bridge of the Zarelian mothership, his sharp silver armor glinting in the dim light. His glowing yellow eyes scanned the holographic map of Earth. "Humans are weak," he sneered. "They have no chance against us. Begin the planetary bombardment." On Earth, chaos erupted. Explosions lit up the skies as Zarelian weapons rained destruction on cities and landscapes. The military fought back with everything they had, but Earth's weapons were no match for the advanced alien technology. Hope seemed lost. In a hidden underground lab, Captain Jake Miller watched the destruction on a monitor. His fists clenched in frustration. "They're tearing us apart," he said. "Not for long," replied Dr. Evelyn Carter, a brilliant astrophysicist and Jake's closest ally. She gestured to a strange device in the corner of the lab. It pulsed with blue light and emitted a low hum. "What is that?" Jake asked. "It's the graviton wave generator," Evelyn explained. "It manipulates Earth's gravity, creating focused waves strong enough to disrupt anything in their path. We've never tested it, but if it works, it might be our only chance." Jake looked at the screen again, seeing the destruction growing worse by the second. "What do you need?" "Time," Evelyn replied. "And a way to get it close to their fleet." Jake nodded. "I'll handle the delivery. You just make sure it's ready." While Evelyn and her team worked on activating the graviton wave generator, Jake gathered a team of the best pilots Earth had to offer. Their mission was simple but dangerous: get the device into space and as close to the Zarelian fleet as possible. As the alien ships continued their assault, Jake and his team launched their small, stealthy crafts from a hidden base. They weaved through the chaos, avoiding enemy fire. On the Zarelian mothership, alarms blared. "Commander Vorth, unidentified human ships are approaching," an officer reported. "Destroy them," Vorth ordered. Zarelian fighters swarmed toward the human ships, but Jake and his team were ready. They flew with precision, using Earth's atmosphere to their advantage. As the alien fighters struggled to maneuver, the humans struck back, taking down several enemy crafts. Jake's heart pounded as he guided his ship closer to the fleet. The graviton wave generator sat securely in the cargo bay, its blue glow reflecting in his cockpit. "Almost there," he muttered to himself. Back on Earth, Evelyn monitored the mission, her hands shaking with nerves. "Come on, Jake," she whispered. The human ships reached the edge of the Zarelian fleet. Jake transmitted a signal to Evelyn. "We're in position. Activating the device now." Evelyn pressed a button, and the graviton wave generator roared to life. A pulse of energy shot out, invisible but powerful. It hit the Zarelian ships like a tidal wave. On the mothership, Vorth stumbled as the floor shook beneath him. "What is happening?" he roared. "Gravity fluctuations, Commander." An officer replied, "Our ships are losing control." The graviton wave disrupted the artificial gravity fields within the Zarelian fleet. Ships spun wildly, colliding with each other. Some were pulled into Earth's atmosphere, where they burned up on re-entry. Others were crushed under the immense gravitational forces. Jake and his team watched in awe as the alien fleet began to fall apart. "It's working," Jake shouted. But the fight wasn't over yet. The Zarelian mothership managed to stabilize itself. Vorth's glowing eyes narrowed. "Target the human ship carrying that device. Destroy it at all costs." Zarelian fighters swarmed toward Jake's craft. He dodged and weaved, but the enemy fire grew heavier. A blast hit the side of his ship, and alarms blared in his cockpit. "Jake, get out of there!" Evelyn's voice crackled over the comms. "Not yet," Jake replied. With one last maneuver, he set the graviton wave generator to overload. "This is for Earth," he said before ejecting himself from the ship. The generator unleashed a massive gravitational surge, tearing through the Zarelian mothership. Vorth's roar of anger was cut short as the ship imploded. The remaining Zarelian ships fled, their once mighty fleet reduced to scattered debris. Jake's escape pod landed safely in the ocean, where he was rescued hours later. On the shore, Evelyn was waiting for him. "You did it," she said, tears in her eyes. "We did it," Jake replied with a tired smile. Across the planet, people cheered as the alien threat was finally defeated. Humanity had not just survived, they had struck back with the very force that had made Earth their home. Gravity.as The sun broke through the clouds, shining brightly for the first time in days. Jake and Evelyn looked up at the sky. Earth was safe, and they had proven that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity could fight back. Gravity had struck back, and Earth had won. The aliens came without warning. Their fleet, massive and ominous, parked itself between Earth and the sun, blocking sunlight and plunging the planet into cold darkness. The invaders, known as the Clivans, did not send demands or communication. Their silence was as terrifying as their presence. Global temperatures dropped rapidly. Crops began to fail, and power grids strained as people turned to artificial heat sources. In a matter of weeks, humanity was on the brink of collapse. Dr. Elena Moore, a brilliant astrophysicist, stood in her laboratory, staring at the holographic model of Earth and the alien fleet. "If we don't do something, the planet will freeze," she said grimly to her colleague, Colonel Marcus Reed of the Earth Defense Force. "And how do we fight ships the size of continents?" Marcus asked, his voice filled with frustration. Elena pointed to a glowing sphere on her desk. "With this, the graviton pulse generator. It can manipulate gravitational fields." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Gravity? How does that help us?" Elena explained. "Gravity is the one force the Clivans can't control. Their ships are enormous, but their structures rely on finely tuned gravitational fields to stay intact. If we disrupt those fields, their fleet will collapse under its own weight." "Sounds risky," Marcus said. "It's our only option," Elena replied. The two quickly assembled a team of scientists, engineers, and pilots. Their mission was to get the graviton pulse generator close enough to the alien fleet to unleash its power. The mission begins as the Earth's temperature continued to drop. The team launched their operation. A sleek, heavily shielded spacecraft carried the generator, escorted by a squadron of fighter jets. Elena joined the mission, determined to ensure the device worked. The alien fleet loomed ahead, its massive ships casting shadows over the planet. The Clivans detected the human spacecraft and immediately sent smaller attack ships to intercept. "Enemy ships incoming," shouted Lieutenant Carter, one of the pilots. Marcus, leading the squadron, responded calmly. "Engage, but protect the main craft at all costs." The skies lit up with explosions as the human pilots fought bravely. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, they used Earth's atmosphere to their advantage, weaving through clouds and using gravity to pull off sharp maneuvers the aliens couldn't match. Elena sat in the main craft's control room, her hands shaking as she monitored the generator. "We're almost in position," she said into her headset. "Just a little closer." A massive alien ship fired a beam of energy at them, narrowly missing their craft. The shockwave sent them spiraling. "We're hit," the pilot yelled. "Stabilize us." Marcus barked over the comms. The craft righted itself, but the damage was severe. They were losing time. Activating the weapon finally, they reached the edge of the alien fleet. Elena powered up the graviton pulse generator, its core glowing brighter with each passing second. Charging at 70%, she reported, the alien mothership, a monstrous structure the size of a small moon, began to move. It deployed more attack ships, which swarmed toward the human craft. Marcus and his squadron fought fiercely, buying Elena the time she needed. One by one, the human fighters were shot down. "Generator at 90%, Elena said, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. The alien mothership fired another massive beam, this one directly at the main craft. Marcus saw it coming and made a split-second decision. "I'm gonna draw their fire," he said. "No, Marcus, don't," Elena began, but it was too late. Marcus flew his fighter straight toward the mothership, firing his weapons to create a distraction. The aliens shifted their focus to him, giving Elena the final seconds she needed. "Generator at 100%, she shouted. She pressed the activation button. The graviton pulsar-shockwave of gravitational energy erupted from the generator, rippling through space. The alien ships began to shake violently. Their finely tuned gravitational fields collapsed, causing structural failures across the fleet. The smaller ships crumbled instantly, while the massive mothership groaned under the strain. Its outer hull buckled, and enormous pieces broke off, spiraling toward Earth's atmosphere. Inside the human craft, alarms blared as the gravitational surge threatened to tear them apart too. "We need to get out of here," the pilot yelled. Elena quickly deactivated the generator, but the damage was done. The alien fleet was in ruins. The mothership, now a fractured hulk, drifted aimlessly before exploding in a blinding flash. The remaining Cliven ships retreated, disappearing into the void of space. Earth's Victory's human craft barely made it back to Earth, landing in a battered state. Elena stepped out, greeted by cheering crowds. Marcus's fighter had not returned, but his sacrifice was not forgotten. The sunlight broke through the clouds, warming the planet once again. Crops began to recover, and the people of Earth celebrated their survival. Elena looked up at the sky, her heart heavy with both pride and loss. "We fought with everything we had," she said softly. "And we won." The graviton weapon, a symbol of human ingenuity and courage, was dismantled and studied for future use. Earth had faced a near-extinction event and emerged stronger, ready to defend itself against any who dared to challenge it again. The planet was safe, and humanity had proven once more that it would never give up.